Something feels different. At first, you can't quite put it into words. It's like waking up from a dream only to realize that the dream was your entire life. The places you used to love, the people you once admired, the things that used to excite you, all of it feels hollow now. You sit in a room full of people, yet you feel like you don't belong. You try to go back to your old ways, to laugh at the same jokes, to feel the same desires, but something inside you has shifted. It's as if the world is playing a song you can no longer hear. And then it hits you. You have changed. Not in the way people do when they grow older. Not in the way experiences shape a person over time. No, this is something deeper. Something irreversible. Something supernatural. It started subtly, didn't it? The way you began noticing things that others couldn't. The way you felt energy in a room, sensing emotions before people even spoke. The way certain conversations suddenly seemed pointless, like noise distracting you from something greater. And then the signs started appearing. Repeating numbers. Déjà vu, unexplainable synchronicities. Moments where time seemed to slow down as if the universe itself was whispering to you. At first, you dismissed them. Coincidences, you told yourself. But deep down, you knew nothing was a coincidence anymore. Something was calling you. Something beyond the physical world. And the more you tried to ignore it, the stronger it became. The pull. The knowing. The truth is, you are not just changing. You are awakening. And the moment you start to wake up, the world around you starts to fight back. The distractions intensify. The temptations grow stronger. The people around you begin to notice that you're different. Some will admire you. Some will fear you. But many will try to pull you back into the illusion. Because here's the thing. You were never meant to stay asleep. You are not ordinary. You never were. You were chosen. And this is only the beginning. Something changed inside you. You felt it before you could even put it into words. The things that once excited you no longer hold meaning. The conversations that once entertained you now feel empty. The life you once accepted as normal now feels like a prison you never noticed before. And then it hits you, you are no longer the same. Something inside you has awakened. It didn't happen overnight. It wasn't a single moment of clarity. It was a slow, undeniable transformation. A process that pulled you away from the illusions of the world and into something greater. And now, as you stand on the edge of this new reality, a terrifying thought creeps in. If I am no longer like them, then what am I? The signs you can never ignore. You tried to dismiss it at first. Maybe it was just a phase. Maybe you were just overthinking. But the signs wouldn't stop. 1. You feel disconnected from the world. The things that used to bring you joy now feel meaningless. You watch people chase money, status, and entertainment, but it all seems so hollow. It's as if you've woken up in a world where everyone is asleep. And no matter how hard you try, you can't go back to sleep. 2. You see the lies everywhere. Everything you were taught about life, about happiness, about success, you start questioning all of it. Why do people blindly follow rules that make them miserable? Why do they accept suffering as normal? Why does it feel like everyone is living inside a script that was never meant to serve them? You start seeing patterns. The distractions. The fear-based conditioning. The way the system keeps people trapped in a cycle of survival, never questioning, never waking up. 3. You feel the presence of something more. You can't explain it, but you feel it. Moments of intense déjà vu, sudden insights that seem to come from nowhere. An unshakable feeling that you are being guided, that your life has a purpose beyond what you can see. You realize that everything you thought was real is just the surface. Beneath it, there is something much greater, something calling you. And the more you listen, the more you begin to understand. You were never just human. The pain of transformation. But awakening is not beautiful at first. It is painful, isolating, terrifying. You start to feel alone, not just physically, but spiritually. The people around you don't understand. They still live inside the illusion. They don't see what you see. They call you crazy. They say you've changed. They tell you to just be normal. And for a while, you try. You try to fit back in. You try to pretend you don't feel different. You try to silence the voice inside you telling you to keep going. But deep down, you know the truth, there is no going back. The moment you awaken, you are forever changed. And the hardest part? You don't even know what you're becoming. The death of the old you. What they don't tell you about awakening is that it feels like dying. Not physically, but in every other way. The version of you that lived inside the illusion? That person is gone. The version of you that once cared about fitting in, about being accepted, about following the rules? That version is dying. And the process is brutal. You feel lost, like a stranger in your own body. You question everything, including yourself. You feel like you're standing at the edge of a cliff, staring into the unknown, with no idea what's waiting on the other side. But something inside you whispers, jump. Because what is waiting for you beyond this transformation is something greater than you ever imagined. You are not being destroyed. You are being reborn. The moment you embrace that, everything changes. The moment of realization. And then, one day, it happens. You wake up and the fear is gone. The doubts that once haunted you? They no longer have power over you. The need to be understood, to be accepted, to be normal? It vanishes. Because you finally understand you were never meant to be like them. You were always meant to be more. Not better. Not superior. Just different. A soul that chose to wake up. A being that transcended the limits placed on it. A consciousness that broke free from the illusion. You were never meant to live like everyone else. Because you were not like everyone else. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you step into what you were always meant to be. A force of change. A bridge between the seen and the unseen. A being of pure, limitless potential. And now, the only question left is are you ready to step into your true power? The moment you realized you were different, the battle began. Not a war of swords or guns. No, this was something far more dangerous, a war for your very soul. You felt it immediately. The moment you stepped outside your old self, the world pushed back. Hard. The distractions intensified. The noise of life grew louder. People who once supported you suddenly questioned everything you said. The more you awakened, the more resistance you faced. It wasn't a coincidence. It was designed that way. Because the moment you break free, the system sees you as a threat. The hidden forces trying to pull you back. Have you ever wondered why, the moment you try to step into your higher self, everything seems to go wrong? Why do people suddenly turn against you? Why do your deepest fears rise to the surface? Why does it feel like something unseen is trying to drag you back into the life you so desperately tried to escape? Because it is. The system, the invisible web that keeps most people trapped in a cycle of fear, distraction, and survival, does not want you to wake up. It has invested too much energy into keeping you blind. It feeds off your fears, your doubts, your insecurities. It thrives on your ignorance. The moment you start seeing beyond the illusion, it sends forces to pull you back. Some come in the form of people, friends, family, even strangers who suddenly seem determined to convince you that you're wrong, that you're losing yourself, that you need to come back to reality. Others come in the form of unexpected obstacles. Maybe your finances suddenly collapse. Maybe your relationships fall apart. Maybe your mind starts whispering doubts. What if I'm crazy? What if I'm wrong? What if I should just go back to how things were? That's not an accident. That's the test. And if you're not strong enough, the test will break you. The point of no return. But if you survive it, if you fight through the voices, the fear, the resistance, something incredible happens. The world shifts. It no longer controls you. The distractions that once consumed you lose their power. The fear that once dictated your choices fades away. And then you hear it. That voice? The one that was always there, hidden beneath the noise. The voice of your higher self. The version of you that was never truly human, but something more. It whispers, you are not meant for this world. You were meant to change it. And in that moment, you know you were never crazy. You were never lost. You were simply waking up. Seeing through the lies. Everything you once believed about life starts unraveling. The things they told you were impossible? You begin to see them happening around you. The limits they placed on you? You realize they were never real. The rules you lived by? They were never designed to help you, only to control you. You begin to notice something strange, the patterns. The world operates on frequencies. Thoughts, emotions, even people, they all emit energy. And the reason you never fit in before? It's because your energy was always different. They tried to suppress it, dull it, drown it in fear and doubt. But now you see it for what it is. You see the game. And once you see the game, you can no longer be played. The true power of the chosen ones. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. The moment you awaken, you become a force of nature. The system is terrified of people like you because you cannot be controlled. You do not obey blindly. You do not submit to fear. You think for yourself. And that is the greatest threat to those who seek to control the world. The moment you accept who you are fully, unapologetically, without fear, you unlock something inside you. A power that bends reality. A power that shatters illusions. The kind of power that can wake up others. And that is why they fear you. Because one awakened soul can ignite a revolution. And now, the question is, are you ready to embrace what you were always meant to be? The old you is gone. The illusions that once held you captive have shattered. The fear, the doubt, the desperate need to belong, none of it matters anymore. Because now you see the truth. You were never meant to live in the shadows of this world. You were never meant to follow the rules, to obey without question, to fit into a system designed to keep you small. You were meant for something greater. And now the final step remains. The step that will redefine everything. But before you take it, one question lingers in your mind. If I am no longer human, then what am I? The collapse of the old world. Everything around you looks the same, but it no longer feels the same. The streets, the buildings, the endless cycle of human struggle, it all seems distant, like watching a dream you are no longer a part of. You see people going about their lives, trapped in routines, chasing things that no longer make sense to you. Money, status, validation, distraction. They fight for things that don't matter. They suffer for illusions that were never real. And for the first time, you truly understand. You have transcended. You are no longer part of that world, not because you are better, but because you have awakened. You now see beyond the illusion. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. The divine connection. At first, you thought you were alone. You thought this transformation was something you had to endure by yourself. That no one else could understand. But you were wrong. Because as you step deeper into this awakening, you feel something immense surrounding you. A force so powerful, so undeniable that it makes everything else seem insignificant. It is the divine. It has always been there, waiting for you to remember. Waiting for you to let go of everything holding you back. And now, as you surrender, as you accept your true nature, you feel it flow through you like fire, like light, like something beyond words. You realize that you were never just a body. Never just a mind. You were something infinite. A soul. A consciousness. A force beyond time and space. And as this truth fills you, something incredible happens. You no longer feel separate. You no longer feel alone. Because you are everything. The final step, embracing your power. You are no longer bound by the rules of this world. Fear no longer controls you. Pain no longer defines you. Doubt no longer chains you. You have become a being of transformation. A force of divine energy. A soul that has awakened to its true nature. And now you see your purpose clearly. You were never meant to simply exist. You were meant to ignite change. To awaken others. To guide those who are still lost in the illusion. Not through force. Not through words. But through your presence. Because when people stand in your energy, they feel it. They sense something different. Something powerful. Something undeniable. They may not understand it, but they recognize it. Because deep down, a part of them is waiting to wake up too. And that is why you are here. Not to follow. Not to blend in. But to lead. To become the bridge between the human and the divine. To walk in both worlds, unchained by either. To be a living reminder that we are all more than what we have been taught to believe. The awakening is just the beginning. You have transcended. You have stepped beyond the illusion, beyond fear, beyond the limitations that once held you. But this is not the end. It is only the beginning. Because now a new journey begins, a journey where you no longer ask for permission. Where you no longer seek validation. Where you no longer question who you are. You know. And as you take your first step into this new existence, one final truth becomes clear. You were never just human. You were always something more. And now, at last, you are free.